In the quiet town of Horicon, Wisconsin, nestled amidst rolling hills, there stood a modest home that would soon become the epicenter of a chilling tale that defied explanation. The year 1987, when an unsuspecting family made a seemingly innocent purchase from a local secondhand store, a set of bunk beds. Little did they know the seemingly mundane acquisition would unleash a series of terrifying events that would haunt them for months to come. After painstakingly assembling the bunk beds in the dimly lit confines of their basement, the family decided it was time to move them into the children's bedroom. It was on that fateful night that the first whispers of the paranormal began to stir. The eldest child noticed, with growing unease, that the radio in their room would mysteriously turn on, its dial scanning through the channels as if driven by an unseen hand. Initially dismissed as a glitch or a faulty device, the occurrence would send shivers down the family's spine. As days turned to weeks, the disturbances escalated with alarming speed. The youngest child, a fragile soul with an imagination as vivid as she was innocent, began to experience inexplicable visions. She claimed to see a shadowy figure with eyes ablaze with the otherworldly intensity lurking behind her bedroom door. The mere sight of this apparition filled her with a primal terror, accompanied by haunting visions of her sanctuary consumed by flames, the heat licking at her heels as she struggled to escape the inferno in her dreams. Even the father, a pragmatic man with a steadfast grip on reality, found himself confronted with inexplicable occurrences. While diligently painting the basement walls one afternoon, he encountered a phenomenon that defied all logical explanation. His paintbrush, left resting innocently on the table as he took a brief respite for lunch, now stood upright in a bucket, defying the laws of gravity and reason. With each passing day, the family's sense of security eroded, replaced by a gnawing sense of dread that seemed to permeate every corner of their once happy home. Fearing for their sanity and their safety, they turned to the only source of solace they could think of, their local pastor. Upon entering the house, the pastor felt an immediately and palpable sense of unease that sent shivers down his spine. The air seemed thick with a malevolent presence. Every creak of the floorboards and rustle of the curtains seemed to whisper of unseen forces at work. Doors slammed shut on their own accord, and disembodied voices echoed through the halls, their words carrying a sinister weight that chilled the very marrow of their bones. The situation reached a terrifying crescendo on a bitterly cold winter's night, when the father returned home from a long day's work to a scene straight out of the depths of his worst nightmare. An unearthly howl pierced the stillness of the night, followed by a beckoning voice that seemed to emanate from the very depths of hell itself. Rushing to investigate, he stumbled upon a sight that would haunt him for the rest of the days. The garage engulfed in flames, dancing and writhing like living creatures hungry for destruction, but to only return, fire extinguisher in hand, no fire in sight. With his nerves frayed and his family's safety hanging in the balance, the father made a decision born of desperation of fear. Enlisting the help of a skeptical family friend, watch over his loved ones, he set out to rid their home of the source of the torment once and for all. Armed with little more than sheer determination and a hammer, the father set out destroying the bunk beds that had once become the epicenter of paranormal activity plaguing their lives. As each blow rang out in the stillness of the night, a sense of relief washed over him, mingled with a primal fear of the unknown. Miraculously, as the last remnants of the cursed bunk beds were reduced to splinters, the disturbances ceased as if by magic. The oppressive atmosphere of malevolence has once gripped their home lifted like a shroud, leaving behind a sense of peace and tranquility that seemed almost foreign in its intensity. In the years that followed, the family chose to leave the haunted house behind, selling it to an unsuspecting new occupants as if in the hopes of starting anew. Yet, the chilling events of that fateful year would forever serve as a reminder that sometimes the line between the natural and supernatural is far more fragile, far more terrifying than we dare to imagine. And in the quiet town of Horicon, Wisconsin, the echoes of those harrowing nights would linger long after the last embers of the haunting had faded into memory. In conclusion of this harrowing tale leaves us with a lingering sense of both closure and unease, much like the aftermath of a passing storm that leaves behind a landscape forever changed. As the unsuspecting family bids farewell to the haunted home, They carry with them not only the scars of their ordeal, but also a newfound appreciation for the fragility of the boundary between the natural and supernatural. For the family, the decision to leave the home behind represents a fresh start, a chance to rebuild their lives in a place untouched by the specter of their haunted past. Yet, as they drive away from the house that once held their hopes and dreams, they cannot shake the feeling that they were leaving part of themselves behind. However, forever tethered to the memories of that fateful year. In the years that followed, the echoing of the haunting continued to reverberate through the corridors of their mind, a reminder that some mysteries defy explanation, and some scars never truly heal. And though it may try to bury the memories of those terrifying nights beneath the veneer of normalcy. And so, as the sun sets on the quiet town of Horicon, Wisconsin, we are left with a sense of both closure and uncertainty, a reminder that the line between darkness is often blurred and that the truest horrors are those that lurk in the shadows of our own mind. With yet another mystery unraveled, our hunger for discovery only grows stronger. As we delve deeper into the unknown, we'll continue to unearth new enigmas, and we'll be here to share them with you. Thanks for joining me on this journey of curiosity. Stay tuned and stay curious.